It's chemistry model paper 1, and in this section we solve the short question answers from the paper. The first question is calculate the number of molecules in 4.5 moles of carbon dioxide. Whenever there is a numerical given to you, just take care of one thing, that you must know what is the given data, what you need to find out, and which formula you need to put here. So here we have to calculate number of molecules. We all know what is the formula of number of moles. Number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. And if you multiply it with your Avogadro's number, it converted into number of molecules. So simply you can say number of moles multiplied with Avogadro's number, it gives you number of molecules. So just mention it in the way number of moles are given. So you write it first in the form of equation. Number of molecules you need to find out. You put the question mark here, then put the formula, just put the values, use your calculator, and that's done. You got your 3 marks. Draw Bohr's atomic model for potassium K1939, indicating the locations of electron, proton, and neutron. Now, here he clearly mentioned that you have to mention electron, proton, neutron. That means कि आप न्यूक्लियस ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, you have to mention कि यहाँ इस न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्या सेक्शन मौजूद है. That must be the internal section of your first shell. Then you have to put the electrons. Now, as far as your electrons are concerned, you must be very careful. You have to put it in a proper way, at a proper distance. First shell, 2 electrons. Second shell, 8 electrons. Third shell, 18 electrons. Oops, the structure is not like that, because we have 1 electron in the fourth shell. Why? The reason. अब reason इसकी ये है कि आपके second shell में we have first shell 1s orbital, second shell में 2s और 2p orbitals हैं. In the third shell we have 3s, 3p, 3d, and then we have 4s in the fourth shell. अब 3d चूंकि जो डम्बल शेप्स हैं, दे आर फार अवे फ्रॉम द न्यूक्लियस एज कम्पेयर टू 4s. 4s कंपैरेटिवली नजदीक होता है, उसकी एनर्जी कंपैरेटिवली कम होती है, तो 4s पहले फिल होता है. मतलब s और p के 3s और 3p फिल होने के बाद 4s फिल होता है. दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन इन द फोर्थ शेल, एंड यू हैव टू बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट दैट. और अगर आप इस रीजन को पेपर में याद नहीं भी रख पाते, तो देयर इज अ वन ट्रिक, एंड दैट इज पोटाशियम. वी नो कि यार पोटाशियम जो है वो +1 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट में होता है, मतलब पोटाशियम अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करता है टू गेन स्टेबिलिटी. अब ऑब्वियसली वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन अकेला है तभी वो लूज हो रहा है, अगर वो बाकी सबके साथ होता तब तो वो स्टेबल सिचुएशन गेन कर रहा होता. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन ड्रॉ इट वेरी स्मूथली, and you have to mention separately the number of electrons, protons and neutrons ये हैं और हमें पता है. And if somebody don't know how to calculate the number of neutrons, so it's just subtraction of your mass number from your atomic mass, from your subtract your atomic number from your mass number, your atomic mass value, so 39 minus 19 like. The next question is again a numerical based question. Calculate the mass of one hydrogen atom in grams. So again we have, because we have to calculate in grams, and molar mass is always in gram per mole, so you have to just adjust it here. Like one hydrogen atom, so first thing you have to be very clear about that. If one hydrogen molecule hota to molar mass 2 hota. अब one hydrogen atom है तो 1 ही हमारा molecular mass है. Number of atoms are given. Avogadro's number we already know. हमने calculate क्या करना है, mass in grams. So we put the formula. We have a same formula which we used earlier. Number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass multiplied by Avogadro's number. So you just rearrange this. mass हमने calculate करना है, so mass आप इसी साइड पर रखें, molar mass दूसरी साइड पर जाएगा, multiply होगा, and Avogadro's number चूंकि इस साइड पर multiply हो रहा था, so when you shift it just in the denominator section, and you just put the values and you get the answer. Why is an atom always electrically neutral? एटम इलेक्ट्रिकली न्यूट्रल क्यों होता है? बिकॉज आपके पास नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स और इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हमेशा उसमें इक्वल होती हैं. देयर आर 3 मेन सब एटॉमिक पार्टिकल्स. न्यूट्रॉन न्यूट्रल है, कोई पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं होती उसकी इलेक्ट्रिकल न्यूट्रलिटी में, सो देयर इज ओनली 2 species are there, electron, proton, positive and negative charge, equal numbers, that's why. Moving on, you have to write the electronic configuration and you have to mention the group and period. So it's 13, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1, very easy. We also share a trick to write the electronic configuration, but here just we go with it. We have third shell as the outermost. क्योंकि आप क्लियरली देख सकते हैं we have 3s2 3v1, so third is the number, third is the period, and the number of electrons here is 2 plus 1 3, so 3 means third A group. आयनिक बॉन्ड डिफाइन करना है और आपको उसके लिए जो है वो एग्जांपल भी देनी है जो कि आयनिक बॉन्ड बना रही हूँ. सो यू मे गिव द एग्जांपल ऑफ सोडियम क्लोराइड, मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड. इट्स रियली अप टू यू, बट मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड obviously little bit difficult because you have to draw two chlorines in that case. So ionic bond, the bond which is formed by electrostatic force of attraction between the ions. Here we have the structure of sodium and chlorine in front of you, and you can clearly see that sodium has one electron in the outermost, so बड़ा easy है कि वो अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करे, so internal shell ही external बन जाएगा और 8 पूरे हो जाएंगे, वो stable हो जाएगा. And chlorine outermost contains 7, so gain 1 8 and it becomes stable and scene closed. So but one thing I really need to mention here, that the structure here given is not a dot and cross structure, so preferably you must use dot and cross structure. For example, if you are using dots for sodium to present the electron, use cross for chlorine. Write down the two similarities and differences between isotopes. Similarities इसकी ये हैं कि इनके पास नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स सेम है, नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स सेम है, सो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज सेम है. डिफरेंसेस ये हैं कि नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स डिफरेंट है, और अगर नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स डिफरेंट है तो अल्टीमेटली आपका जो मास नंबर है, एटॉमिक मास है, वो डिफरेंट होगा. एलिमेंट्स आर अनस्टेबल इन फ्री स्टेट except noble gases. Explain how elements attain stability. सबसे पहले आप noble gases का बता दें that noble gases have 8 electrons in the outermost shell or 2, so they are stable because they have complete their outermost shells. और octet और duplet rule जो है वो follow करना होता है, और उसके accordingly अगर एक atom आपके पास gain करता है अपने electrons और they have already that electrons, तो वो stable होता है. So it's just every atom want 8 electrons or 2 electrons in the outermost shell, so to make itself stable, it gain or lose electrons. Next is state Charles law, drive its mathematical expression. Charles law, Boyle's law, these are related to study the behavior of gases, and we study the gases behavior with certain parameters like pressure, temperature, volume. जब कभी हम दो parameters के relation को discuss करते हैं तो हमें बाकी parameters को constant consider करना होता है. So here the relation is between volume and temperature, so the pressure will be constant, and that the first expression you can clearly see here is it's not multiply sign, it's supposed to be proportional sign. Like if you are increasing the temperature, volume increase कर रहा है, if you decreasing the temperature, volume decrease कर रहा है, क्योंकि जब आप temperature देंगे सिस्टम को, सिस्टम के molecules energy gain करेंगे, they will move far apart. So in that way, and if you convert your relation into equation, you have to put the constant. So k is the constant here, you rearranged it, k is equal to v by t, and just suppose that you have two systems, you have two cylinders in which the gas is there, and you are the temperature is 30 degree and the volume is 1 decimeter cube, and on the other hand you raise the temperature up to 60 degree centigrade and volume become doubled or more than that, 2 decimeter cube, 2.5 decimeter cube, whatever the value. Just you can compare the V1 T1 and V2 T2. You can draw it as, but no, there is no need to draw it, but you can just put the expression, mathematical expressions here. Okay, the next is how does the change in temperature affect the vapor pressure of a liquid? Show with the help of a graph. Okay, fine. If you draw the graph here, first of all, you must know the temperature and vapor pressure have direct relation with one another. And if temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. If temperature decreases, vapor pressure decreases. And when you draw the graph, you have to take your temperature on x-axis and pressure, vapor pressure on y-axis. And just, your line will be moved straight up from the zero. You can, move in the upside. By increasing the temperature, your volume decrease. By increasing your temperature, your vapor pressure increases. So it smoothly move upwards. How will you prepare 250 centimeter cube of 0.025 molar sodium sulfate solution from a stock solution? Stock solution is your solution which have accurate concentrations, and that solution is further diluted in laboratory for your further use. So हम stock solution से अपना major consider करते हैं, reference लेते हैं M1 and V1, and V1 is not known here. So we have m1 की वैल्यू आपके पास 2m है, 2 मोलर है. So here we have the value and हमने जहाँ लेना है उसे 250 सेंटीमीटर क्यूब की वैल्यू, इसको आप v2 कंसिडर कर लें और 0.025 is m2. So how we set the equation? m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2. Just rearrange it. We need to calculate v1, put the values, you will get your answer. And one thing you have to consider here, that you have to convert your centimeter cube value into decimeter cube value, because that is the preferred unit. So divide it with 1000, you will get the answer. Moving on, identify the oxidizing and reducing agent in the following reaction with the reason. So you have to mention the reason. So in the first step, you write down the oxidation states on all the members. Hydrogen +1, so for 2 hydrogen it's +2. Sulfur, obviously if it's hydrogen is +2, sulfur is -2. Chlorine, जो भी अपनी atomic elemental state में होती है उनकी oxidation state 0 है, so here we put the 0. Hydrogen +1, chlorine -1 and sulfur is 0. So sulfur switched from -2 to 0, so that means कि sulfur ने अपने electron lose किए हैं. Loss of electron is called as oxidation. और अगर हाइड्रोजन सल्फाइड मतलब सल्फर में से इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज हो रहे हैं, सो उसकी अपनी ऑक्सीडेशन हुई है, लेकिन दूसरे की उसने क्या किया है, दैट इज अ रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट. अपने जो इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किए हैं ऑब्वियसली वो किसी और ने एब्जॉर्ब किए होंगे, सो इट एक्टेड एज अ रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट फॉर द अदर थिंग. Chlorine is concerned, chlorine is in 0 oxidation state and then chlorine goes to -1. So chlorine ने electron absorb किया, chlorine की अपनी reduction हुई है and it act as an oxidizing agent to the other species. So that is simple means कि जो आप दे रहे हैं वो कोई और ले रहा है. So you have to take care of this thing कि अगर आप एक स्पीशी की खुद रिडक्शन हुई है तो वो ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट के तौर पर बिहेव करेगी, एंड इफ द स्पीशी itself oxidized, so वो एक्ट करेगी एज अ रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट, right? So you have to mention it. Then the next is magnesium is in its 0 oxidation state. Then hydrogen chloride से react कर रही है magnesium chloride और hydrogen बन रहा है. hydrogen magnesium 0 state से +2 में जा रही है, so it is loss of electrons मीन के मैग्नीशियम की ऑक्सीडेशन हो रही है. सो अगर मैग्नीशियम खुद ऑक्सीडाइज हो रहा है, इट एक्ट एज एन रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट. और ऑन द अदर हैंड हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड को अगर आप कंसिडर करें, हाइड्रोजन +1 में है एंड इट गिव्स टू इट्स 0 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. इसका मतलब ये है कि इसने इलेक्ट्रॉन जो हैं वो गेन किया है. सो ये रिड्यूस इटसेल्फ, या क्लोरीन को आप देखें, सो इटसेल्फ ये रिड्यूस हुआ. क्लोरीन की ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट में कोई चेंज नहीं है, सो वी मूव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू हाइड्रोजन. सो क्योंकि हाइड्रोजन की खुद रिडक्शन हुई है, सो हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड एक्ट एज एन ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. Okay, the next question is about define corrosion and how is corrosion prevented by cathodic production. So first of all, what you know about corrosion is that it is a wear and tear of your metals by the surrounding medium, whatever the surrounding medium, especially oxygen and water. And rusting is a very major example of corrosion, or you can say corrosion is a more general term. So हम इसे प्रोटेक्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं? कैथोडिक प्रोटेक्शन से. सो वी मेड आवर मटेरियल एज अ कैथोड एंड द अदर metals such as more reactive metal, for example we have magnesium, we have aluminium, so we just make it an anode, so it compromise itself for the protection of our material like iron. Or how it do this activity by introducing their free electrons. The active metals sacrifice its signs and keep the less active steel or material away from corrosion. Then we have the question about the aqua regia composition और इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है. एक्वा रिजिया 3:1 रेशो है हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड और नाइट्रिक एसिड की, और हम ये सोल्यूशन प्रिपेयर करते हैं गोल्ड या प्लाटिनियम वगैरह को डिसॉल्व करने के लिए, ग्लास वेयर जो आपके लैब में है उन्हें क्लीन करने के लिए, और इसके अलावा क्लोरोयूरिक एसिड प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए. So these are the main purposes. Discuss why is sugar soluble in water but petrol is not, because there is a simple rule, like dissolves the like, and sugar is a polar one, petrol is a non-polar. So polar dissolves in polar material, and or polar material dissolves in your polar solution. Water is a polar solution, so that's why sugar dissolved, but petrol, which is a non-polar, doesn't dissolve in water. Thank you.